Is your dog maybe a little spoiled? Does he have a really great life with you with lots of love and attention, but maybe he just doesn't listen? And you know that your dog is spoiled, you even joke about it with your friends and family, but you've tried to train him and nothing really seems to stick. Like maybe you've trained your dog to sit or lie quietly on his dog bed, but as soon as somebody knocks on your door or you've got guests in the house and he's really excited about something, he totally forgets anything you ever taught him. And he just can't seem to sit still and be calm, or stop jumping, or stop barking, or whining, or getting in people's space and their bubbles and bothering them, or dragging you on the leash. Well, if you are someone who loves your dog a whole lot, but you find him really difficult to live with sometimes because he just can't seem to control his excitement, then you'll want to pay close attention to this video, because over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to share with you some really simple yet absolutely brilliant brain retraining games that you can play with your dog. These are games based on some of the most current research in canine neuroscience that I'm going to tell you more about here in just a minute, that quite literally change the way your dog thinks by rewiring his brain. So instead of being overwhelmed by his emotions to the point that his brain seems to turn off so he can't hear you or understand you anymore every time he gets excited, your dog learns to be more self-composed and more in control of his impulses. So even if something really exciting or unexpected happens, like maybe a group of neighborhood kids suddenly bursts in through your front yard or your front door with handfuls of hot dogs in their hands, or maybe a neighbor's cat invites himself into your home through an open window, your dog stays calm and composed. He doesn't freak out barking or start racing through the house or jumping on people or start acting all crazy. Instead, he automatically defaults to calm behaviors, turning to you for instructions about what should happen next. But more on these brain retraining games and how they work here in just a minute. Because first, I want to tell you about a big aha moment that I had. An aha moment that may prove your dog isn't so spoiled after all. And that maybe the problem instead is that your dog's brain is still immature, wired so he's still thinking and acting like a puppy. Because dogs, just like people, aren't born with impulse control. So here's my story. I had this epiphany one day while I was watching my wife interact with my youngest daughter, who's just barely 2 years old. We were at a friend's house and there was this big bowl of candy out on the table. My wife told all 4 of our kids that they could each have 2 pieces of candy, and then they were done, right? Well, my 2 oldest kids, who are 8 and 6, they had no problem listening to these instructions. They spent a minute or 2 picking their 2 pieces of candy from the bowl, and then they were able to walk away, no problem. My 3rd child, she's a bit younger, she's only 4, she struggled a bit and had to be reminded a couple of extra times to leave the candy alone once she had her 2 pieces, instead of hiding a couple in her pocket and trying to get away with it. And then there was my youngest daughter. At just barely 2 years old, she needed my wife to hold her to help her resist the urge to take more candy, even though she's a sweet, good kid who generally wants to please us. At 2 years old, it was really, really hard for her to resist the urge to grab more candy from the bowl. So watching all of my 4 kids in this same scenario, it suddenly struck me why some people have so much trouble training their dogs. Because dogs, just like people, aren't born with impulse control. Impulse control is a skill that we develop over time with practice, right? It's parenting and practice. Lots of kids grow up into adults with no impulse control because they weren't parented by moms and dads who supported them developing that skill. And lots of dogs have this problem too. In large part because the entire dog training industry tells you you're supposed to obedience train your dog first, and with commands like sit and stay and down, when that doesn't make any sense at all, right? Because you can't expect a dog that's too excited to sit calmly. Sure, you've probably tried, but think about all the times a guest has come over and your dog is too excited to sit. Even if he does sit, it's probably just for a minute before he's up and all excited again. So why doesn't this work? Because you can't teach sit first. You need to teach calm first. So let's talk about calm. How are you supposed to teach a dog that's never learned to focus on you and ignore all the other exciting stuff in his world to come reliably when maybe, let's say, at the local dog park? Again, you have to teach a dog to focus on you and control his impulses to check out every exciting distraction first, and then and only then can you start to teach your dog to learn how to come. And yes, science backs me up on this because, yes, this was my epiphany, but it was not an original thought here. Scientists have been studying impulse control in humans and dogs and lots of different animals for decades now, and their findings are fascinating. Without boring you with the mountain of medical terminology I picked up along the way, I can tell you that in a dog's brain, it's the left frontal cortex that controls your dog's impulses. And it works a lot like the human brain, where our prefrontal cortex does a very similar job. And this matters because While canine neuroscience is still a pretty new field, science has proven that our life experiences play an absolutely critical role in our brain's development, building neural pathways between different parts of the brain. So simply put, without parents guiding us through life experiences that give us regular opportunities to practice self-control as children, humans don't develop impulse control. And the same holds true for dogs. That's the key takeaway. Without the right experiences and the right opportunities to practice impulse control, your dog's brain stays immature. He still has a puppy brain, and he'll have it forever unless you fix it. Which means he doesn't have the neural pathways and connections he needs to control his excitement and listen to you when you actually want him to. So how do you fix this? Well, you do it by giving your dog the right experiences. I'm talking about controlled opportunities for your dog to learn and practice self-control, patience, and focus. And to help you create these right experiences for your dog, I've put together a brand new video training program that I'm super excited to release today, because we're literally going to be turning the traditional obedience training first mindset upside down and right on its head, taking an entirely new yet scientifically sound and proven approach to teaching your dog to control himself even when he's really excited. It's called impulse control. Brain training games to unspoil your dog. And in this program, I'm going to teach you 7 foundational brain training games that you can play with your dog to scaffold and build these critical neural pathways in your dog's brain, so that over time, with regular practice through these games, your dog learns to control his excitement, to control his emotions, to focus on you, and to listen. So what are these brain games I'm talking about? Well, much like choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator every day, these games are really simple moments, really, between you and your dog that are easily added to your daily routine that you already have. These are moments where in just a couple of minutes, often less, you give your dog a chance to exercise and strengthen a little piece of his self-control, helping him over time to develop neural pathways that he needs to be less impulsive. Yes, sometimes you'll be using treat rewards, especially in the beginning when you're first getting started, but I will say right off, the real focus of this program is teaching your dog to play these games without treats. You're not going to be bribing your dog to listen to you with food all the time, and you won't be using punishment either. Instead, you're going to be tapping into your dog's natural desire for pleasure, whether that's running in the yard, playing with a favorite toy, getting cuddles for you, going for walks, or whatever he likes. These brain training games are designed to quite literally teach your dog that it's more rewarding to control his impulses and listen to you. And it's fun to please you, that's the point, so that he learns to focus on you. Pay attention to where you are, what you're saying, and what you're doing, and actively listen for your next command or sense of direction. Again, if you would describe your dog as spoiled, too excited, too loud, usually happy, but often out of control, these brain training games are for you. They're perfect for fixing common dog impulse control problems like chasing anything that moves, whether that's cats, bikes, or kids, rushing to the door to greet guests with too much excitement, stealing food from hands, tables, and counters, pushing past you through any open door and barging, maybe knocking over a kid in the way, jumping out of the car before you're ready with the leash, stealing, hiding, or chewing objects like toys, clothes, and shoes, maybe bras, underwear, those sorts of things that might be embarrassing, chasing anything that moves, not listening, obeying when something new or exciting happens, running downstairs too fast, knocking into people or kids, barking, crying, and whining when he wants something, or he's too excited, he's not getting what he wants, crying and whining when left all alone, throwing a crying and barking tantrum when he doesn't get what he wants, toy or food guarding, jumping on people and kids, dragging you on the leash, grabbing anything you accidentally drop on the floor, and so much more. Yes, these are all impulse control problems, not dog obedience problems. So if you felt frustrated because training commands to your overly excited, easily stimulated dog seems kind of too hard or like it was the wrong solution, I'm here to tell you your gut instinct was correct. You need to start by exercising your dog's ability to control his impulses. And that's exactly what these 7 brain training games are designed to do. Give your dog the opportunity to develop and transform his immature puppy brain by making the neural connections he needs to calm himself, focus, and listen. Now, while I can tell you there isn't a comparable dog training program on the market today, I can also tell you from experience that most dog trainers, if they delivered what I'm going to give you here today, would charge you at least $100 for this program, probably more. But my only ambition here today is to get this missing link in dog training into the hands of as many dog owners as possible, while still covering my costs of delivering and maintaining the private website where you can watch all of this video training that I've created for you in an organized, easy to follow way. So while others would charge $100 for this, probably more, you will pay a fraction of that for impulse control. Because when you invest just $27 today, I'll send you everything you see here, which includes the entire Impulse Control video training series that we filmed using real dogs in real situations with real impulses, teaching you all 7 brain training games that you can start playing right away to unspoil your dog and develop his natural ability for self-control. Plus, I will also throw in 2 special bonus gifts as my way of saying thanks for giving this program a try. First bonus gift number 1 will be a special video dedicated to teaching your dog to wait quietly and patiently for you instead of having whining fits or throwing barking tantrums. So if you've got a dog that whines, cries, or barks every time you leave him, or you aren't coming to him fast enough, like waking up in the morning and he needs to go pee, or whenever he's not the center of attention, this video is for you. Finally, instead of feeling guilty listening to your dog cry or bark or whine, you'll have a plan of action, so it won't be long before your dog is able to wait quietly for you to return or come to him without getting overly emotional about it, which means you'll finally stop feeling guilty too. So that's bonus gift number 1. Then, bonus gift number 2, I'm going to offer you the chance to send in video footage of your dog being bad or impulsive to me. Whatever your dog is doing that's driving you nuts, get it on video and send it to us. We'll give you instructions on how once you enter the program, and we will email you back with a critique of what we think the problem is and how you can solve it. This free training consultation alone is valued at $99. So think about it, right? How often does someone come along and offer you to fix the biggest problem with your dog for free? But again, it's only available for a limited time with your $27 investment in my new Impulse Control video training program. Now, obviously, because there's only one of me, I can only afford to give away so many of these free training consultation bonuses, and then I'm gonna need to cut it off so I can actually have time for everybody. So now it's time to decide. Will you make the $27 investment so you can start watching these brain retraining videos on your own in your own private viewing area of my website in the next 5 minutes and learn the secret to rewiring your dog's brain with a series of 7 brain training games that you can play to exercise your dog's self-control? Now remember, there's no risk in claiming impulse control today because, like you'd expect, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which gives you more than enough time to watch the videos, start incorporating these brain training games and exercises into your daily routines, and see the difference it makes in your dog. And just like a weightlifter building muscle with day-to-day small routines, I guarantee follow the games and training we've laid out for you on these easy to follow videos, and you'll see big gains in your dog's ability to control his excitement, remember his manners, and listen to you even in really challenging situations. So again, you can get your copy of Impulse Control with the 2 bonus gifts, including the free video consultation today, all by simply clicking the Add to Cart button below, and I'll email you the password so you can start watching the videos in the next 5 minutes. Thanks for watching. This is Chet Womack of thedogtrainingsecret.com, and I will see you on the inside.